Okay, family, check it out. Hold your spot because I got another recipe that's gonna make your taste buds dance. And that's goulash. It's budget friendly and it's easy to do. Should take you no more than about 30 minutes to get it together. So let's get it popping. So first we're gonna start off with the star of the show, which is the ground beef. Okay, I recommend you to get the 73% lean and 27% fat. Now, if you go higher than 73%, just know there's a chance that your meat is going to be drier. Also, we cannot forget about the background singers, family, because they are definitely important too. I got some elbows here that I got from Walmart. They're great value. And I got 2 peppers, red and orange. Now, I like these better than the green because they're much sweeter than the green. Also, I got a white onion and 2 garlic cloves, some onion powder, some granulated garlic powder, and Lowry's, which is the best garlic salt out there, some fresh ground black pepper, some Menage a Trois red sweet wine, and some tomato basil great value pasta sauce, and some Italian seasoning. Now let me tell you, when it come down to pasta, you do not have to buy no expensive brand. Pasta is pasta. It all tastes the same. It's plain and bland. It's up to you to season everything up, just like the spaghetti sauce that we got as well. Okay, so we all doing budget friendly here. Also, ahead of time, I shredded my cheese. Now we're using mozzarella and sharp cheese. I went ahead and shredded my cheese just to get it out the way before I started doing any other sort of cooking. Now we're going to take our pot and we're going to fill it up with water and get it on the stove so that we can get it nice and hot to boil our pasta. Now when it comes to pasta, you have to really salt it. Not salt it too much, but you have to put enough salt in there so that you could taste some sort of flavor from the pasta, okay? And I recommend you use kosher salt, not regular table salt. Now, when it comes down to our ground beef, we're going to spread it all out, y'all. And I recommend y'all do it in a pan and not in a bowl. Because when you do it in a pan, you get easier coverage, more coverage over the meat than you do if it's in the bowl, okay? Now, so far, we got 2 tablespoons of garlic salt, and that's Lowry's, the best kind of garlic salt out there, and that's the one with the parsley in it. Now, also 2 tablespoons of some onion powder. I recommend you use granulated. This right here, I ran out of granulated onion powder, and I only had the fine powder, which I do not like, okay? Granulated is better. Also 2 tablespoons of garlic powder, and that's granulated garlic powder. And we're also going to put in 1 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. Now I advise you to get you some peppercorns, get you a coffee grounder, and put your peppercorns in there and ground them. The flavor of fresh black pepper is 20 times better than that canned stuff that you buy that sits in the grocery store for like 2 years, and loses its flavor. Also, we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning. I say Miss Dash or Dash is the best. I didn't have that and couldn't find that, so I got McCormick's, and they're like second to Dash. Now, after mixing our meat in with the flavors, with the seasonings and so forth, we're going to take our meat and we're going to make them into patties. Reason is because when you just take meat like this, ground meat, and just throw it in the pan, all that blood comes out and you have no way of separating that blood from the meat, okay? So you be having blood all mixed in with your ground beef. And if you make it into patties, when you make burgers and you cook your burgers and you don't turn your burgers over until what? You see that blood rise on the top. So that's what we're doing here, making the patties. And then we're going to take the patties, put them in the pan. And when they get halfway done and you see that blood rising to the top, as you see here, then that means they're time to turn over. That graying on the side and that blood rising on the top. Okay, you don't need them to be too done. Okay, but you need to get them halfway. When you see that gray around the edges and that blood rising to the top, then that's when it's time to turn them over. Okay, and then all the blood is gonna go into the pan. Now, after they're done, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove these. Now, see all those bits inside that pan? We're not gonna use that for no gravy. That's all blood there. People use that and tell you to use that to make gravy. That's blood, cooked blood. All right? And we don't eat blood. We're keeping it kosher, family, over here. Now, when it comes to chopping our meat up, family, we're gonna make sure we keep it in large chunks because in our goulash, we wanna make sure we get a nice bite of that meat, okay? For our sauce, we're gonna do our sauce up here. Now, like I told you, we're gonna get this cheap brand because we're keeping it budget friendly, and we're gonna do it up with our own seasonings. We're gonna add 3 tablespoons of granulated onion. Okay, now you see it's fine, but I'm using I'm telling you, get granulated. 3 tablespoons of granulated garlic, 2 tablespoons of Italian seasoning, and 1 teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. And we're gonna whisk that in. Now you're gonna whisk or stir whatever you have to mix the seasons in. You're gonna do it as much as possible because we don't want to have any clumps. Now you see how hard I'm whisking? That's exactly what you should be doing. Making sure you're whisking hard to break everything up, okay? Because we really want to get those seasonings to mix through with that sauce. Then we're gonna put a lid on it. And once it comes to a simmer, that's when it's time for us to add in our vegetables. We're gonna add in that smashed garlic cloves, our 2 diced red bell peppers, and our diced white onion. Then we're gonna give it a real good stir. Make sure all of those are incorporated as well so that as it cooks, all the flavors can come out evenly. After that, that's when we're gonna add our bay leaf. After we add our bay leaf, that's when we're gonna cover it and let it continue to simmer, okay? And that's when it's time to start working on our pasta. Now be mindful, pasta is a sponge. When you pour it in your liquid, whatever liquid you pour it in is gonna absorb it and become double in size. So what you wanna do is pour it halfway up the dish because when it swells up, it's best to have more than to have too little, okay? Now that our water is boiling, we're gonna pour our pasta into our salted water and then we're gonna give it a stir. Reason is because when pasta goes into the water, it always has an ability to stick together or stick to the bottom of whatever dish you're boiling in. Once we do that, we're gonna cover it and let it boil for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, you're gonna shut the flame off and let the pasta sit in for an extra 2 minutes without boiling, okay? And then that's when it's gonna be time to pour out all your liquid, okay? Because we want the pasta to be perfectly al dente, which it has a bite. Now, as you see, remember I told you how it's gonna swell up? Now look at that. I even got more pasta left in the pot, all right? And the rest of the pasta that's left, you can take it, make you a tuna salad or some macaroni and cheese or something. So once I got my pasta here, family, I'm adding in my meat. Now what I really should have done is make sure you don't do what I did. Should take the pasta and pour it into a bowl and then mix all your ingredients in it and then pour it back into your casserole dish, which is what I should have done, but I didn't, because the more room I would have had in my bowl, if I would have poured it in the bowl, it would have gave me more space to mix everything up and not have to worry too much about spillage and stuff falling over the edge and so forth. Now we adding in our meat. We want to add in as much meat as possible, okay? Which is what I'm trying to do here without spilling anything over the edge. That's why I was saying it'd be better if you put it in a bowl first if you have a casserole dish such as I do. Now it's time to add in that cheese. We got our sharp cheese and we got our mozzarella. Now, once we get that in there, we want to try to get that stirred in as much as possible because we want it from top to bottom, okay? Then we're going to go in and start adding our sauce. Now, we definitely want to make sure that sauce is all in on every side, okay? From bottom to top, we want that in and stirred in as much as possible because we don't want to miss any areas. Anytime we have a bite, we want that sauce to be incorporated with the meat and the pasta and the cheese in every area, okay? Now, as you see, from me pouring that sauce in there, that hot sauce, it has caused the cheese to start to melt, and you can see that cheese pull. See that? I mean, even to the point that you'll want to eat it right now, you know? But anyhow, we're going to pour the rest of our sauce in there. We're going to make sure it's spread it all through. Now, what I didn't do was save some sauce, enough sauce to spread over the top, because what I wanted it to do was to have the sauce on the top, so when I sprinkle the cheese over it, the sauce and the cheese will incorporate with one another as it's cooking. But I spreaded it as much out as I could. Now I went in and put in our cheeses. We're going to cover it with our sharp cheese and our mozzarella. And then we're going to put this in the oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes to an hour. And this is what we're going to come out with. Family, I'm telling you, it's absolutely beautiful. Your family is going to love this. A budget-friendly meal with a rich taste. I guarantee you that. Now, Izzy Bites, show your family some love by making them this dish. And show your brother some love by giving a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell. Enjoy, family. Until the next time, peace.